Should you buy the Frontier Go Wild Pass?
Should we renew our Frontier Go Wild Pass?
Let's talk about the ups
and the downs.
We're Rich and Robin,
and these are our midlife adventures,
living in and out of our midlife van.
We took advantage of the Frontier Go Wild annual pass.
A year ago this month, we bought it.
Back in November, they had this special Black Friday special for $5.99. First come, first served, limited availability, and then who knows?
You fly as much as you want with 31?
Like 31 or 32
blackout
days.
And all you paid was the taxes.
Paid 1 penny for the flight and the taxes and airport fees.
Book the day before for a domestic flight and 10 days for international.
And we knew going into it, it was going to be a little weird, but it worked out.
We took the chance.
We took the chance, and it's paid off.
So now, should you buy the Frontier Go Wild Pass? First, you need to be flexible.
We are retired and thinking about flying out tomorrow.
No problem.
Not a big deal for us. And not knowing when we're going to come back is not really a big problem for us.
In fact, we've flown international and booked our flight just 2 days before we left.
Yeah, went down to Dominican Republic and had a great time.
All with the Go Wild Pass. Yeah.
A different mindset. It's not your normal, let's book it 6 months in advance or 9 months in advance. It is a different mindset.
So if you are a nomadic traveler, if you travel and can work from wherever, this is a great opportunity for you.
If you have hard set schedules of, I have to be back by Sunday night to be back to work on Monday, then...
One of the benefits also is at the same time we bought the Go Wild Pass, we got a couple of travel credit cards and we started travel hacking more. And so having more miles and points
that we can use for hotels if we need to. It gave us, the Platinum card gave us the lounge access, so that gave us a little extra comfort when we had some long layovers. So it's worked out.
If you have the American Express Platinum card, you may have an offer in your account for $40 off a purchase of $200 or more from Frontier by the end of the year.
For us.
So I'd say a down would be you have to book
24 hours in
last
advance.
Minute. Another down might be we've heard a lot about canceled flights. We've never had a canceled flight.
Knock on wood.
But we do have travel insurance in case that happens. Delayed flights. We've had minor delays. And I think the longest delay we had was just over 2 hours, and it was our final leg, which delayed us getting home.
But we didn't miss a flight.
But all our other delays that were minor we were going to have a long layover anyways, so it didn't really affect us any. So far, none of our travel in 6 months with the Go Wild Pass has been affected by delays or cancellations.
But I think what people forget is airlines and air travel has a lot of built-in issues.
It's not just Frontier. We were at a gate just recently, our last flight, and next to us there was a United flight. It was canceled, and it was the last flight of the night. So it happens to United, it happens to American.
I've flown over 1.5 million miles. I've for some years, I've flown 120,000 miles a year, and you see it all over the place. It's all airlines, all airports. It's weather-related. It's mechanical issues. It's, crew shortages and stuff like that. Anything can happen on travel, and it's not just a Frontier thing. This annual pass is perfect for us.
For the price of Frontier's budget flights, it's managed our expectations. We didn't expect. We have received more
than we expected.
And we expected.
Exactly.
We expected
a
lot less.
If you're looking just to fly a couple times a year, don't waste your money, because Frontier has some really good deals. There's some $19 flights that they're doing. There's a lot of less than $100 flights that are advertised all the time. So if you're going to just do a couple flights, take advantage of their low fares.
So another negative, don't get the pass if you're only going to fly a couple times a year.
Yes. Yeah.
So I would say a positive, you can do a spur of the moment trip. We decided to go visit our son in Colorado.
Yeah.
We flew in and landed at 10 a.m., spent the whole day with him and his girlfriend,
They
and
probably
flew
left
out
it.
at 10 p.m., and we had 12 hours in Denver.
Without a hotel.
Right.
And it was $30 round trip. It's
That's a
hard
plus for us.
Yeah, it's hard to beat that.
Another plus is we got to visit 2 new countries with this pass. We went to Costa Rica
and
for
then
a week,
Dominican Republic.
and we went to the Dominican Republic.
And had a blast. I mean, and we probably wouldn't even consider those 2 countries, by the time of, looking at, okay, let's
the
book
flight,
in advance,
the hotels,
like 9 months, and
Yeah.
how much the flights are and stuff like that. It was a no-brainer for us to just
bonus
give it a try.
a bonus with that is we used another travel hack with our credit cards and used points. I got a free all-inclusive in Punta Cana,
Which was
and it was great. Yeah.
amazing.
So
Yes.
should you buy a Frontier Go Wild pass? You got to be flexible, and you got to be able to travel whenever. So that's just, and you should have some backups. Oh, sometimes they let you purchase tickets in advance.
Yeah, they do have these little promos that go on every once in a while,
Yeah.
where they'll allow you to use your Go Wild subscription and not pay any extra fees and book in advance. So they've done that probably about 4 or 5 times throughout
and
the
then
year.
The last couple months they've had where you can book in advance. It wasn't a promo, and maybe you pay
extra
$10 or
premium.
$15 more just for that security. So currently we have a flight booked in January with our Go Wild pass from Cancun to Baltimore, and it cost us about $15 extra each a person.
but it's
but
just
we
nice
have the
to know,
security
yeah.
that we can get back after our trip. But for our trip going there, we still don't know if we can get there on Frontier. So we did is we took out some insurance. We used some of our American miles and just booked a flight with points.
And we can cancel, right before. So we're still going to try to get a Go Wild,
But if not,
seat. If not,
we're
we'll
going to
have the
get there.
American.
Got to be flexible like that. You got to be able to use different systems. Don't just rely only on Frontier.
Yeah.
Have some backups.
I'd say if you're used to using a travel agent,
this
you don't
isn't
want
for
to
you.
buy the subscription.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in that situation. So, but the good news is they just introduced a lower fare.
So
And
the new Frontier Go Wild Pass that doesn't start till May 2024
Right.
is $100 less a person than
than
what we paid.
And we paid the lowest price. It was a limited availability. There's who knows how many. After that, it jumped up to $799, and then some people were paying like $1,100, and $499 is a great deal. Some of these things we just spoke about having maybe the promo periods where you can book early in advance, or having this. Who knows if that's going to be in 2024.
Right.
So if you're willing, put out the $500, the $499. You have to assume kind of the worst, that it's going to be just 24 hours in advance, and it's going to be 10 days in advance for international. So, and then if they do come up with the promos, then it's the plus alpha.
How much does each flight cost? Because I have supposedly with this pass unlimited flying except for the blackout dates.
It's not free.
So it's not free because you got to pay the taxes. So what we have noticed is it's $15 a leg domestically, meaning if I can fly nonstop from we're on the West Coast
So if we
to
go
the
to
East
Orlando,
Coast, if we can get that nonstop, which happens occasionally, but all the time, it's $15.
Yeah, we fly out of Ontario Airport. There's not
Or San
many.
Diego.
There's not many nonstops and stuff like that. So Denver, Las Vegas, Orlando,
Occasionally,
Miami are their hubs. So those are you're gonna have lots of opportunities.
So in the past, we've had Atlanta to Ontario nonstop, $15.
Yeah.
A lot of times we might have to book flights from Vegas to get where we need to go, and then we'll have to spend an extra $15 to get a flight over to Vegas.
Almost all of the direct flights are going to be $15, plus or minus a couple.
If you have one layover, it's going to be $30.
Exactly. So if we have to go from here to Vegas, Vegas to Philly, then it's going to be $30 each. And so it is 1 penny for the flight, and then the rest are airport fees and taxes.
Yeah.
So it just happens to be that's it. So
international, you can book 10 days in advance, but also international flights are more expensive because there's more taxes.
There's international fees.
And each airport might have an exit tourist tax,
they
like
have
Costa Rica
tourist
did.
taxes and stuff like that. So it starts to add up.
Our international flights, one way per person, has ran us about just under $100 a person.
So
because of those taxes,
you got to be aware of that. You just can't say, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to do 200 flights, to Cancun for this, and it's going to be all just for $500." No, it's going to add up. Because there are some heavy international fees, tourist fees, airport fees, and stuff like that, and that is not exclusive to the Go Wild Pass. It's just normal.
Right.
So, and that's not exclusive to Frontier.
Flying Frontier
Is a budget airline.
you don't even get to bring a carry-on, just a personal item. Our first trip, we went with only personal items. We went for a week. We did it, not a problem.
Just with a backpack.
Yeah.
But they have bag sizers, and sometimes they are really critical about it has to fit in there easily. You can't like shove it in. It can't be oversized, can't be sticking.
The only airport for us that we've been to that was the most stickler
Vegas.
was Vegas.
Vegas is really
Everybody else was, they would make announcements, but they weren't lining everybody up, checking everything. So after our first flight with only a personal item each, they offered you could pay to purchase a little status that you could bring a carry-on and pick your seats. And we knew we had a couple flights coming up that we were going to go on cruises and
that
we were going to have an extra bag.
2 bags, a personal bag and a carry-on.
So for $99
Yes,
each,
yes.
we purchased it because a carry-on bag was going to cost I think,
$65 is the minimum, you know.
I think so, yeah. So that made it for us. And then now they just offered a status match.
Yeah. So based off of the status that we had with American and I think with Hilton, we were able to get, when we booked the flight, we're actually able to pick a front row seat and get extra legroom.
Yeah.
So,
and bring our carry-on.
and bring a carry-on too. So.
And we only had to status match one person, and then whoever you're flying with,
Yep. As long as they're both on the same reservation,
then
to get the same privileges.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
both-
all the way good till the end of 2024. So
Right.
even when we renew, it's going to be good for the majority of that.
so just one person status matching now, and it cost $99.
It was $99. So
Now, because the first status match only expired September,
yes,
so now the new status match is good till
all the way till December of
2024.
2024. Yeah.
Now we both, for one status
For
match price,
$99.
can bring carry-on.
And the beauty too is we also get boarding one. People that board after that, then they get to be really more
Sticklers
critical
on your
about
bag size.
the bag size and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And we don't get exposed to that anymore because
We're
in group
boarding
one,
one,
you know,
yeah.
so we don't see how bad it
Yeah.
is anymore.
Before we had status. So our very first flight, when we just took carry-on bags and we didn't pick our seats, you have to pay extra to pick your seats. So we didn't do that. You can pick your seat at check-in. So we checked in 24 hours in advance. We never got past row 7.
No. And they
And
gave
we
us,
always
we're in
sat
the same
together,
row.
the
They
seat.
assigned the seat,
Yeah.
and most of the time it was like an aisle and a middle or a window in a middle. So
Yeah.
it worked out for us.
Because we can set your preferences also in
So
the
you
app.
can do this really, really cheap by just,
Yes.
just like we did at the beginning, just
Personal
you
item.
pay for it and you just bring a personal item, make sure it fits in the sizer. Don't worry about where it seats. As long as you're both on the same reservation, you're going to be in the
sitting together.
same row.
Yep.
And get there and get back, and you can do this really cheap. Like Robin said, we started saying, hey, we're going to be flying more. We know we're going to have some carry-on bags, so
Yeah.
let's go ahead and get the status match.
We're gonna give them the money anyways for a carry-on bag. We might as well give it to status match and
Yeah.
have more carry-on bags.
Yeah, so it just depends on what you want out of it, and so you could just pay the $4.99 and then just pay the let's say $15 for each direct flight for domestic, and you can do this on the cheap.
Yeah. But you should probably fly maybe 4 or 5 times throughout the year to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to depend
On where you're going.
Exactly.
For example, our Cancun to Baltimore trip in January is $95 a person, and otherwise it would be $300 a person if we're booking it right now without the Go
exactly.
Wild
So
Pass. So
it's-
right there,
we think
one
it's worth
trip.
it. We saved 200 each, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so it's almost half,
Yeah.
the pass. So we definitely, to answer the question, should we, renew our subscription?
We're going to renew it?
We're
Or
going
we're
to
gonna renew it.
Yeah, when are we going to renew it? So right now, they have a so-called Black Friday special that's going on till the 28th of November. So it's another week or so. And so then what they're offering is at $4.99, and you get all the way from May of 2024 until the end of April of 2025.
Right.
And you get, what we're talking about. They also have status. You get what they call silver status. So what that gives you is for that whole time period too, is they
Included in the $4.99.
including the 49, you get silver status, and you get to pick your seats
Yeah.
at when you go ahead and book.
Make a reservation.
So
yeah.
that's
not the
nice.
extra legroom seats.
No,
but
at least
yeah.
if you're traveling with others, at least you can be able to pick your seats and then try to be together. So but after the 28th of November, what's going to happen? Will it go up?
We don't know.
From $4.99?
Yeah.
Are they going to get rid of the silver status? Matches like that?
We'll probably buy it by the 28th just to make sure we pay we want to save that extra $100 each.
I think so. Why not?
So if you want to learn some tips on how to book these flights, because you can't book these in the app currently.
No, that's
you
too
have
bad.
to book them in a browser on your phone or on a computer. So click on this link right here and check out that video, because you'll need some tips if you're going to buy this pass to book those flights. Since May, when our Frontier Go Wild Pass went into effect, we've done 25 flights.
Crazy. Which is crazy. I mean, and we've been consumed with doing other things too. It's not, you know,
we cruised for a whole month in Europe. Check out that video.
And we did a cruise down in Caribbean. We did a cruise in Alaska and stuff like that. So honestly, we haven't been using the Frontier as much as we thought we were going to.
Because other bargain travels came up,
which we're not complaining about.
But
and even for what we traveled with, we are definitely feeling that we made it worthwhile for our investment.
We went to the East Coast. We went to Philadelphia, Charleston, Savannah. We went to Denver to see our son. We used our flight to go to our cruise out of Seattle. We went to Costa Rica. We went to Punta Cana. We're going to go to Cancun.
Yes. So we're definitely getting our money's worth out of it.
I went to Sacramento on the way home from one of our trips to visit family. And I just decided the day before I'm going to go see my parents.
Yeah, so it's definitely been worth it for us, and we've got our money's worth out of it, and so it's a no-brainer that we're going to go ahead and continue with it.
So maybe we'll see you on a Frontier flight.
Go wild.
If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to follow along. Soon we'll be sharing our Costa Rica trip that we took with our Frontier